in seeing how the world around my competitive environment was changing. From the years I started elite level racing in 1999 through to 2014, I traveled around the world. I trained and I raced, and it was a very repetitive cycle. It was an endless, very selfish existence, and I didn't really look up. But that all changed 6 years ago when I revisited one of the most iconic and famous ski runs in the world, the Vallée Blanche, 20 kilometers of off-piste skiing on top of a glacier in France. I first skied this run back in the 1990s, and the retreat of the glacier in the last 30 years is astonishing. Hi, Brad, Chemmy.
Hi, Chemmy.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm going to take you on a descent of the Vallée Blanche to show the impact that climate change has on these glaciers above Chamonix. Brad, we are at the top. Why are we here, and what credentials do you have to be taking me down this amazing piste?
First of all, we're here because it's beautiful, and it remains a lovely ski descent down the Vallée Blanche. I'm a high mountain guide certified here in Chamonix. And I'm also an ecologist, and I'm interested in how the mountains are changing in a climate change context.
What have you seen in the years that you've been here that has shocked you the most about how the Vallée Blanche is changing?
We really do have a front row seat as guides. We see it every day. Every time we go out, we're sort of navigating new terrain because we're losing meters of ice. In 2022, we lost 17 meters of thickness at the bottom of the Mer de Glace.
In 1 year?
In one summer season.
And what was it that summer that caused such an astronomical loss?
The hottest summer on record, as simple as that. And we also experience it in the winter time. Right now, we're basically experiencing spring temperatures in the month of January. The effects are very present. Climate change is basically happening, and no matter what, things are going to keep getting warmer in the coming decades. That's pretty much a done deal. The models predict if we continue on our current trajectory, 90 to 95% of the glaciers in the Alps will be gone by the end of the century. So everything we can see in front of us, other than basically the upper section around Mont Blanc, will have melted.
I can't imagine that. You cannot imagine how this will look with the retreat coming up to this level.
But that's what the scientists, that's what the glaciologists are predicting. If we can take action to, on a massive scale, reduce our emissions, then there's hope of conserving up to 2/3 of the glaciers.
Well, should we go and see it a little more close?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go do some skiing. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's do it. The glacier behind me has lost more than 100 meters of depth in the last 30 years alone. That's more than the height of Big Ben. The sheer volume of ice that is melting is absolutely mind-blowing.
It's changing from month to month over the season, but if you look at over the course of the last decade, it's just unbelievable. We're on the glacier du Géant. Is the largest glacier in France, one of the largest in the Alps, and it's a super visual indicator of what warming does to the mountains. And it's almost like a thermometer. We're literally just looking at how things are changing in real time here in Chamonix.
The implications of this glacier melting at the extent that it's melting at and the speed right now, it's not just affecting our sport that we love, it's global.
Yeah, I mean, certainly for water availability in Central Asia, in the Andes, a lot of these places depend on glaciers for their water supply.
It's massive, it's a bigger picture.
Absolutely.
We're going to go down to the different part of the glacier now, right?
Yeah, so down below
This is the scary deep part, right?
Yeah, we're going to traverse that. We have to be careful. There's some crevasses down just below us. And then we'll join the right-hand side of the glacier. And
in this glacial gully, but it's actually pretty serious. The irony is the very sport that I love, ski racing, also plays its part in global warming.
Before you're in that bubble, which is all about ski racing. And then if you're not anymore, you start to see things differently.
The work going into creating these pieces is incredible. Blasting from snow cannons, some of the artificial snow is stored and harvested from previous winters and even flown in by helicopter. They are having to use more pea spashers to shift the snow, more snow cannons, all of which requires a huge amount of energy, solving one problem whilst exacerbating another.
We used to be able to train pretty much anywhere in the Alps. These days, it's more of a struggle to find good conditions.
The glaciers are not open all year round anymore, and actually many of them have stopped their summer training. So you either have to venture further abroad or not ski in the summer at all.
I remember getting up to Zermatt last summer and the snow was just dust and sand, and it was just pretty much a sad sight to see.
In the race season, we're seeing a lot less certain snow and conditions, which means a lot of races are getting delayed or even cancelled. And that causes race congestion in the big part of January and February. And the result of that is a lot of fatigue and injuries.
It's really kind of heartbreaking in a way.
There's quite a sentimental value in coming back here so many years after I did it for the first time. But also it's quite sad because I don't recognise the run today as it was when I first did it at all. It's still amazing, but it's just very different. Do you love skiing?
Yeah, I want to be a ski racer when I grow up.
Do you? I worry about the legacy of the sport that I love. My sons are 7 and 5 years old, and as a parent I'm really torn because I almost want to put them off the sport that has brought my whole life so much joy, because I worry about its very existence in the future.